So we ended up doing 4 supplementary rounds of 4-way bouts with some randomized bots, and that's the way we went. So to catch up on the series and qualifying tournament 1, Clyde took the win over Nice. Double Time took the win in qualifying 2, and Witch Doctor in 3. Our top 16 as it sits right now in rankings that are not qualified for the tournament of 5. Blip is leading the pack with a +5. Lynx coming up in second, jumping up from that 16 position last bowl. Wanhu at +5, Jackpot at +5, Nice coming in at number 5, Emulsifier, then Atomic 2, the Ringmaster, Mobius, Complete Control, Toxic Drake, Heatwave, Orbitron, Pinpoint Redux, Behemoth, and Twister at number 16. Now keep in mind that we will have a 4th winner, which means that only the top 12 of this tournament series will end up qualifying to go into tournament 5, where we'll see the same 16 bots face off against each other based on where their points land them at the end of every tournament. So we're going to go ahead and get into our bracket, because we have our final tournament all set up. It's qualifying round 4. First up is going to be Blip versus Devil's Mind coming in. Blip has really had a lot of control, and Devil's Mind just eliminated all 3 of the other bots in the supplementary round. Those matches for the supplementary rounds will be posted up to our YouTube. You can find it at Immortal Night Gaming, where you'll be able to find this series coming in off of Twitch. Today's episode will be recorded as we are having streaming issues. So today we're just recording this one out for all you fine folks. So let's get into it, because you know we love our bot battles. So let's go. All right, Blip looks armed and ready. Devil's Mind seems to have been kind of a surprising candidate with a smaller statue, but Blip is really taking control early on like he's known to, staying out of the way of that weapon of Devil's Mind, looking to get the early hammer shot, maybe even an elimination here, knowing Blip. He likes to get those countouts. He doesn't want to give Devil's Mind any opportunity to move forward in this tournament. And Blip is showing right now, right here, while he's the leader of the pack here in qualifying round 4. It is just absolutely obliterating his opponent there. Devil's Mind is officially eliminated, and he will not be moving on to the tournament of 5. And keep in mind, we got some leaders of the pack out here that definitely are going to give us the opportunity to see more and more of them coming in. Whenever it comes to Blip and Wanhu and our +5s, you can pretty much guarantee these guys are going in and to the tournament of 5. So really, this tournament is more about who can get that qualifying round and who's going to end up in the top 12 of the entire point system and bracket. Next up, it's Nice versus Red Rum Ice. Nice has been put on hold since he won. He came up as a runner-up in tournament 1, but we saw some amazing damage come out of that bot. So it's Nice, it's Red Rum Ice, and you know it's probably going to get a little rough in there for Red Rum here. I'm going to give a prediction of Ice coming out on top and having to face off against the control pot Blip. And Blip is a formidable foe. Don't let his small stature mind you. Now, Nice's damage output is insane, but he's got a pretty tall order in Red Rum Ice. You know, Red Rum Ice. I'm not sure. Nice, a little shredder bot. Hitting Red Rum right off the bat. Red Rum right off the bat. I think it's Red Rum. And he's finally getting those blades up to maximum speed and just absolutely destroying Red Rum. Just absolutely destroying him. And Ice drops out of the tournament. He will no longer be seeing a potential spot in the top 5. I don't believe. Wow. And this tournament is really shaping up already. Nice, just showing his poise and posture. It's Mobius. And it's Nightmare coming in. Nightmare is definitely the odds out to win to lose this tournament. Nobody has him set as an odds favorite, and you can see why here. His control against Mobius was already going to be an issue, but now Mobius has got him exactly where he wants, and that's on his side. That's where Nightmare seems to end up at. He won one match to get him here, and by luck at that, we're right now he's trying not to end up over there in the elimination zone. Mobius is just hunting down his prey here, but Mobius catches one of the blades on the ground, sends himself flying. Doesn't look to be doing too much damage to him, and Nightmare is in the countdown now. Mobius, he wants an elimination here, and he's going to get it. Right there, Nightmare is bounced off the wall and into the elimination corner, and Mobius moves on to the next round. Mobius. Coming up solid. I mean, he had a great preliminary run. He had a decent qualifying run, came out of the tournament with a +4. So he's second tier whenever it comes to our placement and points. And Nightmare, we really hope that Nightmare can make it back and get out here again, maybe in Series 2. But we have just so many bots that are starting to come into the league that there's a lot of competition out there. Orbitron and Eye of Void are up next. The final in bracket 1. Orbitron and Eye of Void. Orbitron really showed his mettle, taking out Singularity fast and early, and then moving on to the second round of his last tournament. Can he move on to the second round here, especially against such a formidable foe? With Eye of Void, Orbitron may have met his match. Orbitron trying to get underneath Eye of Void, bouncing him up, getting out of those flames, trying to play this smart, but it looks like Eye of Void has really just got Orbitron's number here. That hammer coming down on Eye of Void for a second there. And Orbitron is up on his back. It's hard to see what's going on. All the fires there just covering the entire arena floor. Orbitron goes up against the wall into the grinder. Orbitron is upside down still. He seems to not be able to find his footing. And Eye of Void is really taking control of this match, picking and choosing when to hit. Sends Orbitron into the hammer, and the hammer comes down onto the middle bot. Orbitron is looking like he is a lot worse for wear. Orbitron is taking the brunt of all of this damage. Eye of Void is looking healthy. He's controlling that bot well. He's only using the fire whenever he really gets close. And again, it just sets Orbitron ablaze. It looks like Orbitron's having some trouble driving now. He's not able to back up and get out of those flames, but Eye of Void's spinner hit the top of Orbitron, sent him upside down. With Orbitron not being able to really control his bot, and Eye of Void infamously not being able to get back up, we could easily see Eye of Void accidentally eliminate himself here. Orbitron's moving just enough to keep that top 10 off of him. Wow, this is, oddly enough, came up to a complete stalemate in this match. And Eye of Void definitely had the upper hand there for quite some time until he got flipped upside down. Orbitron's one big skill is flipping people into the air, and Eye of Void's big weakness is definitely landing upside down. However, Eye of Void now on the countdown. It looks like Eye of Void may end up losing this based on a count out because he got flipped into the air and landed on his head. Orbitron may luck out here, and he does. Eye of Void is eliminated due to count out, just falling right on top of that spinner head, just perfect. And Eye of Void is out of the tournament of 5. He is done. Wow, Orbitron coming out the underdog victor here. Definitely took quite a bit of fire damage, and he lost his drivetrain at the end there. I'm surprised he was able to keep moving well enough to keep that 10 count off of him. But we'll see how far he goes. So that's our first bracket is set with Blip versus Nice in round 2, Mobius versus Orbitron in round 2. These are going to be some close matches. Wanhu and Huge coming up next. Huge winning one of those supplementary rounds. So he's no laughing matter. He's got +2 points coming out of the supplementary, and Wanhu's got 5 coming off the last tournament. He's been in all 3 tournaments. The only bot to participate in all 3 tournaments. He got the points necessary to qualify in all three. He's definitely got one of the best chances to get to the championship round. And I'll tell you now that even if he loses this at a +5, he's looking at being an odds-in favorite, and he's pushing Huge right into the elimination corner. Huge is looking at getting eliminated. Wanhu is not giving up that push, and it's done. Huge is eliminated, getting pushed into the elimination corner. Wanhu didn't even take an attack of defense stance on him. He just took the big, massive bot, and he just pushed him right into the corner. Huge is out. We can expect to see Huge in Season 2, I'm sure. Series 2, he came out as he was the underdog in a supplementary fight. Comes out winning that by pushing his last opponent into an elimination corner, so it's only fitting and only fair that Wanhu eliminates him the same way. Next up, we got Atomic 2 versus Cobalt. Both of these bots, in their own right, have been good in this tournament. Cobalt had one great round and seems to have dropped the chain a little bit in the follow-up matches that he's had, but Atomic 2 has really surprised us. He's pulled in that top 10 position, and he needs a win here to make sure he gets to Tournament 5. If Cobalt manages to pull out the victory, he'll just end up tying in the same position as Atomic 2 and have some opportunity himself. So let's go. It's Atomic 2, it's Cobalt. Atomic 2 has kind of been an odds-in favorite from the start of all of this to at least qualify for the championship. He's with Nice on the rise, however. Nice may be the favorite to win this entire tournament with the amount of damage that bot can just put out. And Atomic 2 going up in the air. Cobalt is looking to get that same offense that Double Time had on Atomic 2. Just keeping him in the air, keeping him moving, keeping that flipper from being able to access him. And Cobalt is doing a fantastic job at that. Cobalt has had trouble controlling his opponents throughout these tournaments so far, and we're seeing here, it looks like Cobalt's learning from his methods. Atomic 2 about to get hit with that hammer once again. Atomic 2 just taking the brunt of the attacks here. It looks like Cobalt getting smashed by that hammer, and Atomic 2 starting to take a little bit of control. Cobalt starting to look a little worse for wear as well, and he gets the flip off on him, gets another one. Cobalt landing upside down. That's a lot of damage to take on that main blade you have there. And Cobalt getting flung across the arena. That hammer is coming down. Oh, how the tides have turned on Cobalt. Atomic 2 showing why they're the veteran, why they're here to win this thing, to qualify for the Tournament of 5. And Cobalt is almost done. You can tell he's having trouble moving that bot around. Atomic 2, he's getting bounced around now. Cobalt making a comeback. Can Cobalt win? And it's done. That flipper hitting Cobalt just knocked him out. The team is saying it won't move. It's done. It's dead. Cobalt loses. He's knocked out of the Tournament of 5. Atomic 2 moves on to the second round. That gives him 5 points on the tournament. And you have to kind of wonder, with 5 points on Atomic 2 here, that would move him up into the top 5 right now. Blip coming up in 6. I mean, this tournament is starting to shape up. We're starting to see the real competitors come out in this series. Know that Wanhu and Atomic 2 will meet up in round 2. Next up is Complete Control and Valkyrie. Now Valkyrie has only won one match, but they managed to be able to get themselves here on a point technicality. One of the only ones with points in the entire tournament now, and in all honesty, Valkyrie is sitting here coming in with a rotator configuration, 3 massive blades, and Complete Control is doing nothing but smiling, saying, we're going to light you up, we're going to torch you, and we're going to bring this tournament qualification home. Complete Control surprises in the first round. And it's looking here to make sure to extend that legacy. Valkyrie, though, bringing in that one of their most powerful blades, if not their most powerful blade, on the bottom of that spinner. And Complete Control is managing to keep Valkyrie on the edge a little bit here. Valkyrie doesn't want to let Complete Control lose the same way they lost last time, getting them up on the side there. They want to take this to them. They want to show the crowd that they got what it takes to manage to get to those final rounds. And Valkyrie is after it. Complete Control trying to get those flame shots in where they can, but they need to be able to stop that weapon. They need to be able to clamp down and be able to focus that flame on the undercarriage of Valkyrie to heat up those internals and to melt those chips. And Complete Control looks like they might have some space here to be able to do that. Complete Control is looking to get underneath Valkyrie. Valkyrie is just a little bit odd shape for Complete Control, and it's looking like Complete Control is having trouble driving now. He might have lost control of his bot. Valkyrie as well. The countdowns are beginning, but Complete Control is managing to move a little bit. They just can't seem to turn or position their bot. Neither can Valkyrie. You can see the damage there inflicted to the wheel on the right side of Valkyrie. Both of these bots are looking way worse for wear, and Complete Control is about to be counted out. It's done. Wow. Complete Control was starting to take over this match, was starting to take control. And Valkyrie ends up getting one lucky hit off, sends the servo of Complete Control into all kinds of chaos. Team couldn't control their bot. And it just so happened, it happened right as Valkyrie's losing all these chunks of their tires. Wow, Valkyrie lucks out, gaining another point, moving them up to a +2. And Complete Control is surprisingly knocked out. Valkyrie, the underdog, coming out on top. Next up, it's Twister. It's Gyro. Or as we called them last night, Gyro. It's Gyro. It's Twister. Two Battle RC bots. They're facing off right here. They're ready to go. Gyro coming out swinging. Twister just keeping the aggression up, thinking that he can keep above that blade and keep that damage on the chassis of Gyro. But Gyro sends Twister to the top of the ring. We can see here. Get a good camera angle here. We got two countouts. Gyro's stuck. Twister's stuck. Who's going to turn out to win this one? Twister eliminated just barely. And Gyro looks like he was able to manage to free himself just in time to stop his countdown. That could have been close. Wow, that's the first time we've ever seen that here. Twister going on top of the booth in the Battle RC Arena. Just absolutely going on top of that booth and getting stuck there. Twister, he was a fan favorite coming in. He was kind of picked as an odds-in third round favorite minimum. However, he's lost in his first round to Gyro, and Gyro, unsurprisingly, is going into the second round. I will say against Twister, I would have thought it would have been a little bit different. But Gyro had a very interesting first round whenever he came in to the league, and he capitalized pretty heavily, getting into that second round. Twister was really going to be an odds-in favorite in my mind to get into round 3 at the minimum. With Gyro being a good challenge for him, but I thought Twister, with the way he was maneuvering in the last tournament, always going around to the side of people and, you know, being a little bit more careful with their shots, I figured that they would come into this tournament the same way and they'd take their time. However, that little egg beater gets flung across the Battle RC Arena and on top of that little cubby hole there to protect our drivers, and ends up taking it back. So we're coming up close to our official second round and our first bracket update. Next up is going to be Quantum against Pinpoint Redux. Both of these bots deserve to be here. Quantum has been phenomenal at controlling and shoving his opponents into elimination. Pinpoint Redux is just a massive damage outputter, and he failed to Lynx in his last tournament in the semifinals. So we'll see. For the third round, we'll see if Pinpoint Redux can redeem himself against Quantum here. Let's go! That played perfect. Whoa. I love it whenever that happens. Music just works with whatever we say. Quantum. He's going to look to control this match early. Pinpoint Redux getting that giant reach out, just laying that hammer right into Quantum, but Quantum's got Redux, and he is just pushing him around. Redux pushing back, almost in the saw blades there. Quantum going for that elimination area like he's known to do. And Pinpoint ends up getting away from him. Quantum was trying to use that little lifter. Let's see if he can get into the teeth there. Pinpoint is missing all of these shots on Quantum, and Quantum is just keeping him at an arm's distance. Pinpoint is not used to being controlled like this so far in the arena, but Pinpoint, he's got the elimination on Quantum. Pinpoint flips it around. He uses Quantum's own strategy. So if I can't hit you, Quantum, I'm going to go ahead and eliminate you, using that hammer in the reverse fashion to flip him up and over the barricade. He's eliminated. It's done. It's Pinpoint Redux moving on. I'm not surprised that Pinpoint Redux is moving on at all. Pinpoint Redux came out swinging hard the first time, and he did well. I'll be interested to see how he does in round 2. Looking for his opponent, Pinpoint looks to Dragon King or Toxic Drake. Toxic Drake, who came out as a no-pointed contestant in round 3, managed to make themselves known all the way going into the third round of that qualifying tournament. And they have Dragon King in front of them. Dragon King has not actually been overly successful here, and they barely sneaked into this tournament, holding a +2. So Dragon King is definitely the underdog coming into this. A tracked bot, but Toxic Drake has just been phenomenal and just defeating opponents, sending them flying into the air. And we've got word that we've got word right now that Bronco is actually signed on for Season 2. So Toxic Drake, if they can make it in the top 16, that guarantees them a spot in Tournament 2. If Toxic Drake can get into the top 16 and get into that tournament of 5, they might be facing off against Bronco next season in the qualifying rounds. We'll just have to see. Alright guys, let's get to it. Let's go! It's Toxic Drake. It's Dragon King. It's Saws versus Flippers. And this is one that I shouldn't be less excited for. Should be less excited for, but I really like the design of Dragon King, and I really like the design of Toxic Drake. And Toxic Drake has just been absolutely phenomenal through this entire tournament. So the one tournament they were in, they ended up plopping up into the top 16 off just one tournament. So you have to expect big things coming out of him here. Dragon King going end over end across the arena, trying to get himself flipped back around. And it looks like Toxic Drake is not going to let that happen. Toxic Drake is looking for the elimination, and they get it. Just like that, Dragon King is out. Toxic Drake, I think, was a little offended that they were having to face Dragon King. Sorry, Toxic Drake, it's just the points that you came out with. So how we decided on building this bracket was the number 1 spot went to the supplement 4, number 2 supplement 3, number 3 supplement 2, and then number 4 spot was supplement 4, and then by just all the way down the train, highest to lowest, highest to lowest. So Dragon King definitely had more of his work cut out for him than he would have wanted, and it looks like they actually got it disabled on that other saw. You can see there the banding and everything is separated from the saw blade itself, which means that I think Toxic Drake pretty well destroyed that weapon on that first flip. Dragon King just stood no chance. They're eliminated. They will be in qualifying Season 2 just because of the points they ended up with. We'll see if they do any better in Tournament Series number 2. Right now, though, it's Toxic Drake's show. And I really kind of have to put Toxic Drake into an odds-in favorite to end up high in this match and to end up in the Championship Tournament of 5 series. Next up is Maxi Taxi and the Ringmaster. Maxi Taxi has really underperformed throughout this tournament. In fact, I believe this might even be a rematch. No, it is not. Just making sure here it is not. Okay. I guess it must have been a preliminary round we had here. But we're looking at Battle RC round, the last bracket 3 for coming in round 2. It's Maxi Taxi, it's Ringmaster. Both competitors have shown they have a lot of strength. Both of them show that they can hit hard whenever they hit their opponents. Their opponents know it, their opponents feel it. Honey. Their opponents know it, their opponents feel it. I don't care. And Maxi Taxi has he came into the preliminary rounds, won one tournament, came in second place in the second tournament, third tournament placed in the third round. So really, it's surprising that they haven't done more in this tournament than they have. And the Ringmaster has just absolutely been phenomenal. They have not been eliminated on the first round, I don't think, since this tournament began. So this is going to be an interesting one. Let's see Maxi Taxi. Let's see the Ringmaster. Let's go! It's Battle RC Mortal Night Gaming Tournament Series 1, qualifying Tournament 4, Maxi Taxi against the Ringmaster. The Ringmaster is coming out swinging. Maxi Taxi trying to get out of the gate and get some damage off. They're being a little bit more cautious, but they flung themselves around, but they put the Ringmaster into elimination at the last minute. Our cameras almost didn't catch it. The Ringmaster is eliminated. The first time for the first round since this tournament series began. Really quite an amazing show these two had. Maxi Taxi moving on to the second round. They've only won one match to get them here. Hang on one sec. But they've managed to be able to defeat the Ringmaster here. And we are back. Maxi Taxi is looking for their opponent, Generator and Jackpot. Generator coming in again on a supplement. Generator defeated 4 of their bots to get here, but Jackpot has been really impressive in his showing. He hasn't won a tournament yet, but he has managed to place himself really high, taking on Witch Doctor in the last tournament. And now he's looking to go ahead and punch that ticket and say, hey, I am a qualified robot. I'm ready to battle in the championship tournament series of 5. And we're back. We're looking at Maxi Taxi's opponent. It's either going to be Generator or Jackpot. Generator managed to come out in a supplement round 4. Came out and ended up winning the match, giving Jackpot an opportunity to fight him. Here tonight, Jackpot is one of the leaders of the pack. I mean, just absolute leader. Coming out, always placing high, and he's looking to finally get that ticket. However, with bots like Nice, Gyro, Wanhu, Atomic 2, Toxic Drake, and now Maxi Taxi potentially being their next opponent, you gotta wonder if Jackpot is going to be able to hold out through Generator to begin with. The massive vertical spinner has definitely got Jackpot's number tonight. Let's go! That's the green light. Jackpot comes out with those forks. He's throwing Generator into the air, looking for that elimination spot. He knows Generator is dangerous. If Generator can get a hold of him, if he can touch him, he's done. And ooh, the hammer comes down on top of Jackpot. Generator getting flipped back up, but now he's got Jackpot up in the air, trying to get him positioned underneath that hammer. Jackpot is having no part of it. He's getting those forks back underneath Generator. Generator's just not getting in that many good hits. Jackpot has got showing some wear and tear, some damage from Generator's massive vertical spinners. But Jackpot is looking to actually be destroyed. He's looking like he's having some trouble getting driven around. One too many hits, maybe a little too aggressive against Generator, and now Generator taking advantage of Jackpot's slowing. He's taking advantage of Jackpot's maneuverability coming down, and he's sending him flying. He's keeping him over on his head. No matter how much Jackpot turns himself back onto his wheels, Generator's there to answer the call, and he sends Jackpot flying across the arena. Jackpot's got Generator now into the augers. Generator is out. Jackpot is done hitting that wheel, just getting the last bit of damage he could handle knocked out of him. Their drivers are signaling Jackpot's not working. That's a disappointment for Team Jackpot. I mean, they're looking at they're a +5 team. Or +4 team. They're looking at maybe not continuing into the top 16. They're not guaranteed here. They needed that win to make sure that they got there, and they may still end up in that top 12, in those top 12 spots. But you've got to wonder how this is going to shape up, especially with Generator coming in now holding a 3. If Generator defeats Jackpot tonight, and then it ends up coming down to Generator versus Jackpot for a position in the tournament of 5, that defeat is definitely going to come back to haunt Jackpot. No matter how much success you have early, if your tying opponents defeated you once, they're going to have to take that tiebreaker automatically. And now we're looking at our bracket for Behemoth and Ragnarok. Behemoth, who lost to Singularity his last time out, is looking to control Ragnarok. Use that flipper to his advantage. But Ragnarok's got that distance, and he can come over the top, have that giant metal plate. This will be an interesting one. Let's go! Ragnarok using that giant axe blade is just a devastating weapon to begin with. But Behemoth has got more armor than he has anything. Just massive, thick plates all over his chassis there. It's just, he's armored up to the teeth. It's like watching a real bulldozer in action. And he just sends Ragnarok flying. He's looking for that elimination. As predicted, he's trying for it. Ragnarok up in the air. Again, away this time, and Behemoth sends himself flying, coming up against the wall. Hammer's coming down on Ragnarok. Behemoth is still looking for that flip over ability. And Ragnarok is looking to break Behemoth, using his own momentum against him to throw him on his back. And now Behemoth is up in the air. Ragnarok is going across the arena. Who thought this match was going to turn out to be so exciting? Behemoth not looking to control at all. He's just looking to damage. Looking at that side there, Behemoth getting a massive shot landed on him by Ragnarok, taking out a huge chunk of his health. And Ragnarok thrown into the hammer. Behemoth is looking, I think, for that hammer pin. He's looking to get Ragnarok stuck back there. Behemoth coming around to the side here. He does one let that hammer drop, and that axe head drop down on him. Behemoth throwing Ragnarok up. Ragnarok's having some issue moving at all here, and he's going toward the elimination zone. It's done. Ragnarok is eliminated. Behemoth moves on to the second round, and you have to wonder if he's how much more this Ragnarok can take. Will we see Ragnarok again in Series 2? That was a devastating defeat. Behemoth moves on to round 2. He's getting a 3rd point nudge here. His second time being in the second round of a tournament. We'll see if he makes it past the second round this time. Behemoth may have a rematch coming up here. Heatwave and Singularity. Singularity being the largest bot in this tournament by far. And Heatwave coming into the tournament looking to make a name for himself. He already kind of has. He's sitting at a +3 right now in the rankings. And he's looking for that number 4 spot. If he can win the next 2 rounds, he could almost guarantee him a spot in the tournament of 5. Will Heatwave overcome the massive Singularity? Let's go. Singularity is a unique bot in that it's so massive. It's got a huge, devastating weapon, but really takes a lot to get that weapon up to speed. And we've seen bots get underneath Singularity in the past and absolutely dominate them. And it looks like Heatwave is looking for that same strategy. He wants to eat away at those feet on Singularity to keep its stability off. But Singularity's got Heatwave now pinned on the banister, taking hammer shot after hammer shot. Singularity just using that size. He's not looking at that weapon. He's just looking at his size, keeping him pinned in. And it works. Heatwave is eliminated, coming down off the 10 count. Singularity moves on to round 2. Wow. Heatwave was definitely going to be a fan favorite coming into this tournament. Looking at getting qualified right off the bat. Now he's going to leave here with 3. That really is going to put him on the ropes for that top 12 spot. And we, being a favorite to win the entire thing, you have to wonder how fast do you think Heatwave's going to turn around? Do you think he's going to end up coming back in Series 2 with a vengeance? We'll have to see. He's definitely underperformed against the massive bot there, and it'll be Behemoth and Singularity in a rematch from earlier in the tournament series. Warhawk, Emulsifier. Our next Emulsifier coming up as a runner-up in his tournament. Coming up as a runner-up to Nice, and Warhawk, a fairly similar build to Emulsifier, if we be honest, is looking to put a better name for themselves. They've only got 2 points, and they're looking to move up these 1 point. They're looking to move up these rankings. I think it's Warhawk's looking at 1 point. He's looking to move up these rankings. He needs to. He's definitely underperformed according to what he can do. And Emulsifier he's kind of become a legend these last few years, especially in HRL. This full-size model of Emulsifier is just absolutely devastating and been able to get fairly far in these tournaments. And now these 2 vertical spinner bots are after each other. And Emulsifier is just keeping Warhawk in the air and flying. He says, hey, you want to be named after a hawk? I'll keep you in the air. I'll keep you flying. Do you see your prey? Because I'm going to eliminate you. It's done. Warhawk goes into elimination. And Emulsifier moves on to the next round. Emulsifier keeping those high point scores. It's placing him with a 5 right there. From here, he could pretty well lose the rest of the tournament. And I believe he'll still end up placing that top 12. We'll have to see, and if any ties come up, we'll have to see this tiebreaker. So it's going to be a very interesting altercation. Next up is Uppercut versus Lynx. Lynx coming up as the runner-up in the last tournament, the double time. Yeah, no, to Witch Doctor. Lynx coming up as a runner-up to Witch Doctor was no surprise, but Lynx really underperformed what they had been doing throughout the rest of that tournament. You have to look at Uppercut here, knowing the amount of power that his blade punches and sending them up in the air. Both of these bots looking to send the other one flying. This could be anybody's game, but Uppercut definitely has the size advantage and has the weight advantage. He has the weapon weight advantage. And Lynx, with all the speed in the world and plenty of damage himself, we'll have to see if Lynx can overcome the test of strength, of speed, and so far he is. He's making sure to get on top of Uppercut. Lynx getting that hammer shot. Lynx and that hammer just need to quit visiting each other. Again with the hammer shot on Lynx. An Uppercut coming down out of the sky, but now Lynx is caught up on the saw blade. And Uppercut almost takes a hammer shot himself on that wheel. Lucky he didn't lose it. Again with the hammer shot. I think that first one may have disabled that wheel. It's not, Uppercut's just not driving the way he was. He's still coming up to Lynx. The Lynx is propped up on his side now. Will Uppercut take the pin? I don't think so. I think Uppercut's looking to destroy Lynx. He wants to make sure this crowd knows that he's not just a supplementary round winner, he's also a champion in the making. And Uppercut goes flying. Uppercut back into the air, comes back down, and he slams into the ground. Lynx getting hit by that hammer once again. Uppercut looking to get that blade up and spinning, but Uppercut goes into the air. You gotta imagine Uppercut is regretting not just getting the count out on Lynx earlier at this point. Lynx taken back over, but Lynx takes another shot from that hammer as well as Uppercut back in the air. Lynx upside down. This is not where he wants to be, especially with that giant blade that Uppercut's bringing. And Lynx is resting comfortably on top of the auger. Thank you. The countdown has begun, but Lynx falls off onto his top. Uppercut coming up and bouncing Lynx in the air. This is anybody's match at this point in time, but Uppercut's looking a little worse for wear. If Uppercut gets hit by that hammer one more time, you may end up seeing the end of this match. Lynx takes a direct hit right on the chassis. He's lucky he didn't lose his weapon there. He's looking like he's been up. He's not having the control that he had before. Uppercut is gaining a little bit of his control back, but he's still not moving quite as agilely as before. And Lynx trying to finish this off, sending Uppercut toward the elimination zone. He's not wanting to risk this. Oh, it's done. Uppercut's team is signaling that he can't move. The wheels have quit budging on the bot, and Lynx takes this win. He overcomes the size with the speed, and that egg beater is just a sight to behold at this point. Lynx coming in, going into a runner-up's position last tournament, and then comes out here and goes in the tournament, the second round already. It's just, Lynx has actually performed phenomenal through this entire tournament. All right, that's the end of round 1 of our qualifying round 4. We've got Blip and Nice with Mobius and Obatron, and then Behemoth versus Singularity, Emulsifier versus Lynx, Wanhu versus Atomic 2, Valkyrie versus Gyro, Valkyrie versus Jiro, Pinpoint Redux versus Toxic Drake, Maxi Taxi versus Generator. This is going to shape up to be one heck of a round 2. Alrighty, welcome back. We're at the end of round 1, and we're going to take a look at our top 16. Blip coming in first, Lynx second, Wanhu and Jackbot coming in third and fourth. Nice Emulsifier coming in fifth and sixth. Atomic 2 and Mobius coming in seventh and eighth. The Ringmaster at number 9. Ringmaster is eliminated, so we got to suspect he won't be able to keep and hang on to that +4 or his spot there at number 9. But Toxic Drake located right behind him. And the reason why is Ringmaster has just had an overall more success at fighting at this point in time than Toxic Drake. But Toxic Drake is really moving up those ranks fast, so we can surely expect to see him outpace Ringmaster by the end of this tournament. You know, Gyro is coming in with a +3. Heatwave is still right underneath him, and he falls in that top 12. It's going to end up being the top 12 of this top 16 here that actually make it to the top 5. These 13, 14, 15, and 16 are really just people who are in the chase, like Obatron sitting at +3. Now, Obatron's still in it, but Heatwave has really put out a lot more damage, while Obatron's been very impressive. Heatwave and Obatron are neck and neck whenever it comes to that 12th spot, and really that might end up coming down to a tie-breaking round right there between those two. Pinpoint Redux is still in the fight. He's got 3 points, but Pinpoint has been a little disappointing in a lot of fights where he shouldn't have been. And Behemoth, of course, Behemoth has let us down twice already throughout the tournament. His size and his sheer defense seem to not be working the best for him, but he did get a win here in round 1, and he's going to be coming up against Singularity next. Now, Singularity has already defeated Behemoth once, so we'll have to see how this goes. And, of course, in last place is Singularity. So, really, Behemoth and Singularity is going to come down to whoever wins that is more than likely going to be going into the tournament at 5. But we could see either one of them end up failing, especially Singularity, considering if he loses this round, he's only going to end up with a +2. And you can see that places him nowhere close to being in the top 12 to be able to qualify. It looks like our top 12s are going to be all 4s and higher. So Singularity can only really hope. So let's go ahead and get back to our bracket. We got Blip versus Nice. What more can be said about these guys that I haven't already said? Nice has got more damage output than any bot in the entire series so far, and has really been a fan favorite to win Tournament 5, even though his rankings don't reflect that. And Blip, holding the top spot in the rankings, he's looking to make sure he gets in. He's already there. He's already qualified unless something catastrophic happens. It's Nice. It's Blip. Let's go. Nice coming out swinging as always, but Blip taking control early on, getting around behind Nice, flipping him into the air there. You gotta, every time Nice has managed to, and that's it. Blip is destroyed. Blip got absolutely ate up there, getting in front of Nice, and we don't know what happened here. It's Blip's team is saying that it just malfunctioned. They just lost control. It looks like maybe power disconnection. They're saying that Nice's blades, the friction caused on the case of Blip, melted through one of the power cords and just destroyed him. It's just done. Blip is out. Nice takes pole position with +6 and a defeat over the top contender. You have to imagine that at the end of this, Nice is coming out on top. At least of the rankings here. Nice pretty well guarantees himself a spot in the Tournament of 5 if he qualifies here or not. And next up, it's Mobius. It's Obatron. It's the little bot that could against the Spinner of Destiny. Mobius is absolutely wrecked competition coming into this tournament left and right. But Obatron has surprised everybody whenever up against these bigger than life odds like this. Let's see what Obatron can do here. Putting Mobius on notice is Obatron. Mobius is getting his spinner going, but it's not going to the maximum speed that it could. Meanwhile, it looks like Obatron's front little blade there, it looks like it's not really spinning up too well, and that hammer comes down on top of Obatron. Mobius and Obatron going at it again. Obatron just trying to get him sent flying toward that elimination zone. And Obatron is doing everything he can to keep his maneuverability, his agility higher than Mobius's. Mobius spinning up now. Obatron hitting Mobius. Mobius goes flying across the arena. Mobius is looking like he's got a lot more wear and tear on him right now than Obatron does. Obatron's reaching out, keeping those blades low, but takes that hammer shot. Did not see that hammer coming down. Now Mobius getting a little bit of the spinning time up, but it looks like Mobius is having trouble being able to maneuver around this arena. He's not really showing that speed he has in the previous matches. Obatron looks like he's absolutely going to control this match. And controlling a match with a full-body spinner, that takes talent. Obatron is not looking to say goodbye to this tournament series. He's wanting the chance to be a champion, and he is showing it here in fighting Mobius. Mobius is still yet to get fully spun up, but he's about to. You could see that full body is just about to the point where we can't even see the blades. And here he goes. Obatron tries for the elimination, but Mobius ends up getting out of it by choosing when to spin that top. What a talented driver behind Mobius, but Obatron's got him back in the elimination corner. And Mobius is trying to keep away from Obatron at this point in time, just trying to get back up on his feet. Obatron has not let Mobius get up any kind of speed with that spinning top. And that's really the trick to those spinners. You have to take that initial blow and be able to blow them back and chase them. And Obatron has just got the speed to do that. Mobius up on his back. Mobius is taking the grunt of the damage here. It's a closer race than you'd think, as both bots have taken their fair share of damage. I'm surprised Obatron's weapon is still even intact, if it even is. And a hammer comes down on top of Mobius. Obatron taking advantage and bringing in the heat. He's connects, sends Mobius flying. Mobius is almost done, and it's done. The top quits spinning. The team signals that he is done, and Obatron takes Mobius. Mobius is sitting at a +5 right now, so Mobius is pretty well safe to qualify. However, Obatron just moves up to a +4 spot. He's up there with Ringmaster. He's up there with Toxic Drake. I mean, he's moving on to the second round. Obatron just, every time you count him out, every time you call him the underdog, he comes out swinging, he's on top. But his opponent next is going to be Nice. And while Obatron is plenty fast, Nice's damage output could see Obatron in seconds be absolutely destroyed. Next up, it's Wanhu. It's Atomic 2. It's round 2. Let's go. Wanhu has absolutely controlled this tournament. They have played smart, they have played for points, and they have managed to get themselves in every tournament of the qualifying rounds. Atomic 2 wants to put a stop to him right now. However, Wanhu is holding a sturdy +6, tied for first place in the tournament, so their qualification's there. Really, what we're playing for here is more points to make sure you stay out of the 12th spot. Atomic 2 has got a +5, almost a guarantee. And they eliminate Wanhu by flipping them to the elimination zone within seconds. Wow, less than a minute there, folks. Atomic 2 ends up doing exactly what they needed to do. Atomic 2 moves up to a +6 in the rankings, tying with Wanhu, guaranteeing them pretty well a spot in Tournament 5. We expect big things from both of those bots. They'll surely be meeting up again in one of these tournaments coming up. All right. Round 2 is getting close to an end here. We've got Valkyrie and Jiro coming out. Valkyrie using that rotary blade, that massive blade that just ended up lucking him out into a win in the last round. You got to think that Valkyrie needs to take control early here. That count out worked in their favor, but that might not be the case here, especially with Jiro. It's both of these are bottom spinning bots, and Valkyrie's got the reach advantage, but Jiro seems to have the stability advantage, and he is sending Valkyrie all over this arena. Valkyrie coming back with an attack of his own. Very similar bots in structure and weaponry. We're going to see who's the better. Valkyrie is really surprising us whenever it comes to this tournament, though. Qualifying Tournament 4 seems to be where Valkyrie is starting to get some feet under them. Starting to get some momentum, starting to get some traction. And Jiro just sends Valkyrie into that hammer. It's evenly matched at this point in time. Both of these competitors are just giving it their all. Valkyrie bouncing off the side there. Valkyrie coming in, trying to take a shot at that wheel on Jiro. Gyro. Why do I keep calling it anything but Gyro? And Gyro is eliminated, so that mistake won't have to happen again. And there we have it. Valkyrie comes out and wins. An intentional win this time for Valkyrie. Looking strong going into the third round here is Valkyrie. Our Cinderella is Valkyrie of all bots. An old favorite whenever they first hit the scene. And Gyro, a Battle RC bot here, just could not hang with the ever impressive looking and feeling Valkyrie. back to our bracket. That puts Valkyrie at a +3 now, moving her ever up into the top 16. Now, Valkyrie ends up with a +3 after that win, and they're going to be taking on Atomic 2 next round. Atomic 2 is really going to have their work cut out for them if Valkyrie comes out swinging the way they just did, playing smart, getting their weapon reach, and using it. Next up, it's Pinpoint Redux, and it's Toxic Drake. Battle of the Ping and Hammer, the absolute flipper from hell. Toxic Drake gets their opportunity to pull into a +4. Pinpoint Redux looking to get their +4 as well. Who's going to end up in the top 12? Let's go. And Toxic Drake trying to get that flipper underneath Pinpoint immediately, but Redux has just got Toxic Drake in control. That reach, those teeth just scraping the ground ended up helping keep Toxic Drake from underneath them. And Redux is looking for the elimination, it looks like. They're not looking for the damage. Usually Redux goes for damage, but they were going for elimination. And they're back into damage here. Toxic Drake taking the brunt of that hammer, just coming down. That sharp point is just trying to penetrate that shell of Toxic Drake, and Toxic Drake is trying to use their flipper, hoping to catch that hammer at some point in time. If they don't catch that hammer, they might catch an elimination here. Toxic Drake managed to barely escape that elimination attempt, but Pinpoint has still got him wedged up against the wall here. The only thing saving Toxic Drake is the arena itself. Toxic Drake needs to get out from in front of Pinpoint, needs to get around that side, but they just seem to not be able to get the control they need over Pinpoint Redux. Toxic Drake is trying to make sure they can come out on the in the top 12 of this points-wise and get their chance at the tournament of 5, only having this as their second opportunity. And Point Redux is just driving Toxic Drake, pushing them into that elimination corner. This is a defensive struggle. Toxic Drake's weight is the only thing saving it right now. Pinpoint Redux just continuing to drive that hammer into the chassis. And up goes Toxic Drake. Oh, Toxic Drake almost had the side of Pinpoint. That could flip this entire match around. And onto their sides, onto their roofs they go. Toxic Drake trying to flip themselves up. Pinpoint Redux is looking for that final shot. It's just going to take one big hit. And it looks like Toxic Drake is close to that hammer. That hammer does not come down in time, and that's it. Pinpoint Redux gets into the control center of Toxic Drake with that last hammer blow and disables the bot. It's done. Toxic Drake has lost. Toxic Drake still holds a +4 in the point setup, so there's a good chance that Toxic Drake may actually still qualify. That moves Pinpoint Redux, however, up to a +4 in a tie situation with Pinpoint Redux defeating Toxic Drake. Toxic Drake just may have lost their opportunity altogether. So with Toxic Drake now losing to Pinpoint Redux and only being able to hold that 4 points, with this being the final tournament and only 12 spots available to go on after the winner of this is declared, you have to wonder, is Pinpoint Redux going to take the tiebreaker coming out of this? Now they move into a +4 position. If they cannot win their next match, then will that end up resulting in Pinpoint Redux losing out on the top 12? We've got the tiebreaker set between these two. Coming into this round, I'm not going to lie, I'm looking at this bracket and I'm thinking Nice versus Blip. Sure. I mean, Blip almost had Nice there. Obatron versus Nice is going to be, I think that's going to be an instant dead Obatron. I really do. But if Obatron can manage to stay out from in front of Nice and manage to get that side and get him in the air, or if he can even get him flipped before he can really lay in that damage, Obatron could ultimately win that match, and Obatron so far has really been the surprising candidate of this tournament. Atomic 2 and Valkyrie is going to be an interesting matchup because Valkyrie just hasn't really performed well up until this tournament, but now they're in the third round. They're sitting at a +3 on the board. Valkyrie has to win this round to even have a chance at the top 12. And if Valkyrie can win the semifinal and end up in the championship round, then Valkyrie may actually end up in the top 5 in the tournament of 5. And that would be the biggest comeback in qualification history. And I'm sure we won't have a comeback like that again for a long time. Next up, it's Maxi Taxi and its generator. A vert and a horizontal spinner head-to-head. This is sure to send some sparks across the arena. Two bots that just want to go at it. Maxi Taxi's got a lot to prove. Coming into this tournament with only a +1. Ending up right now with only a +2. They're in the same position Valkyrie is. They have to move into the semifinals, and they have to ultimately try to get to the championship. If this ends up being Maxi Taxi and Valkyrie in the semifinals to get into the championship, I won't be surprised because that's two comeback kings. All right, well, let's go. Let's get this underway. Let's get Maxi Taxi and Generator. Who's going to meet Pinpoint Redux in round 3? Let's go. It's Maxi Taxi. It's Generator. Maxi Taxi with that double big bar swinger is just a dominating figure in that arena. But Generator's really been our surprise, come up from the supplementary rounds. And he's looking for the elimination right off the bat, I think. Yeah, he's trying to get Maxi Taxi pinned behind the hammer. He doesn't care about the hammer coming down on Maxi Taxi. He just wants to make sure Maxi Taxi can't move. And Maxi Taxi's wedged into the arena, getting a flip up from those blades now. But that hammer still got it wedged. You can hear Generator winding up there. Both of these big, heavy weapons. And the hammer coming down on top of Generator now. Maxi Taxi getting the rear shot around on Generator, but they've taken a lot of damage to the front of that RC, that bot. Maxi Taxi just continuing to take damage from Generator. Maxi Taxi getting the hammer thrown down on them now. They're almost done. You can tell they're having trouble moving that bot around, and that's it. They're signaling the drivetrain is gone. The motor is burned up. Maxi Taxi is no more. And Maxi Taxi's been eliminated. Man, Maxi Taxi really needed a win there. Generator coming into that round 1 point ahead of Maxi Taxi. Maxi Taxi only holding a 1 point advantage coming into this. Generator holding a 2, a 3, and now a 4 point. So Generator is looking like they might be coming up onto the tournament of 5. With a 4 point, gives them an opportunity. But up next, they're going to have to take on Pinpoint Redux. And if Pinpoint styles anything, it's no matter how big your spinner is, you can't reach him. And next up, it's Behemoth. It's Singularity. The big guys on the block face off against each other once again. This is a rematch from earlier in the qualifying tournament. And Behemoth took the loss there to Singularity. You have to wonder if he's going to take another loss here. But Singularity goes up end over end. Behemoth is going right for the control. He says, not this time. You're not coming down on top of me like you did last time. And that entire time, Singularity was able to bring that up, but Singularity touches the elimination floor. And there you have it. Behemoth controls the massive Titan of Singularity and sends Singularity, before they can even get their weapon fully wound up, into the elimination zone. Congratulations to Behemoth. Wow, coming up. And now with that, their second win. Behemoth is looking at a little bit of points. Behemoth is coming in at a point, a +4, so they have an opportunity to be in that top 12. We're going to have to see. I imagine we're going to have some tiebreakers have to go on for our top 12 count here. We'll have to look at control, damage, how people have performed, though. Emulsifier and Lynx is up next. This is sure to be an exciting match. Both of these competitors coming up. Lynx right now is number 2, but Emulsifier was our first runner-up. And it would only be fitting if Emulsifier and Nice met in the semifinal rounds there. Two, favorited competitors who ended up being runner-ups in their respective championship bouts. Emulsifier, it's Lynx, it's next. Let's go. Emulsifier has been a competitor from hell for everybody that's been in front of it. And Lynx has been the surprise of the century, coming up from a +1 to second place in the rankings. And Lynx is right on the attack. Emulsifier didn't stand a chance. Lynx just throwing in the attack, not even caring about blades, trying for that elimination early on like he has been for most of his matches here. Lynx has been an elimination king, but it looks like Lynx may have a little bit of a driving issue. At least some control issues, certainly, with the way its bot is moving, and Emulsifier caught up against the Augur. Emulsifier is looking a lot worse for wear, but Lynx is up on its side now. Hammer comes down on Emulsifier. And that hammer, you can't take too many of those shots. You're going to end up disabling something on your bot. Emulsifier taking advantage of the side of Lynx being hung up on the Augur there, getting in some pop shots. And another one there on Lynx. Another one sent him back into the Augur. Lynx is on the ropes now. Emulsifier is keeping him up in the air. He's staying underneath him. He's keeping him up on the wall, and it looks like Emulsifier is starting to take over a little bit here. But just as quickly as we say that, Lynx is right back into the win, and he's turning the tide once again into his favor. A hammer coming down on Lynx doesn't seem to have slowed him down. Emulsifier is hung up behind the hammer. Lynx says, if you won't let me put you in the elimination zone, I'll let you take a 10-second count out. Will Emulsifier be able to wiggle themselves free? 2, 1, and that's it. Emulsifier is out. Lynx moves on. This was really anybody's match. I mean, it really was. You cannot say this wasn't an anybody's match, with Lynx coming in the first match, first tournament, winning his first round, being eliminated the second round, and now he's coming in against Emulsifier, who is a runner-up of his tournament. Hasn't even been in a tournament since. Emulsifier holding that +4. He's gonna have to stay at a +5 now from winning their first round, and Lynx moves on. I mean, you can't really ask for more if you're rooting for Lynx. Lynx has showed his way coming into the top 2. Nice moves into the first place, taking out Blip, but I'm going to put Lynx right there behind him. If this ends up being Lynx versus Nice for the semifinals going into who's going to take on the championship, I wouldn't be surprised. It would be a fantastic battle. I'd be really interested to see who does take that. And that's the end of round 2 there. We're going to have Nice Nobotron, Behemoth versus Lynx, and Lynx is definitely going to have a tall order whenever it comes to Behemoth. Behemoth has got about 500 pounds on Lynx. Really, honestly, he doesn't. He's got like 150 pounds on him. Atomic 2 and Valkyrie, that'll be an interesting. Flipbot versus Rotator, and then Pinpoint Redux versus Generator. Generator with that giant vertical spinner showed Maxi Taxi. It meant business. And Pinpoint Redux has got the reach advantage to be able to keep that massive blade set back so it can't even touch him. We're going to go in and we're going to see our bracket and then talk about our top 16, and we're going to go into round 3. Okay, at the end of round 2, this is what our lineup looked like. We had Blip leading the pack. We had Lynx coming in second, Wanhu coming in third, Jackpot coming in fourth, Nice coming in fifth, Emulsifier coming in sixth, Atomic 2 coming in fifth, Mobius coming in eighth, Ringmaster, Toxic Drake, Gyro, and Heatwave. That'd be your top 12 if it ended today. Now, we have to turn around and we have to look at our post 3 round, or post 2 round. I think that's not it. Oh, okay. I'm saving it in the right format. Okay, so this is our last top 16. Blip was leading the pack, followed by Lynx, then Wanhu, Jackpot, Nice, Emulsifier, Atomic 2, Mobius, Ringmaster, Toxic Drake, Gyro, and Heatwave. That would be our top 12 and ended today, with everybody else chasing those points. However, now we've got a little bit of an adjustment. So after these wins, which is why I love doing tournaments like these, the new point system completely changes the perspective. Link's coming in at first with +7. Nice coming in at +6. Wanhu coming in at +6. Blip coming in at +6. Atomic +6. Emulsifier +5. Now I have Blip ahead of Atomic and Wanhu ahead of Atomic because they just have, well, they've just kind of outperformed most other bots in the series for their positioning, and I'm going to put them there. I know Atomic 2 is still in this, and I expect to see him move up rather than down, but and then Emulsifier, Jackpot, Mobius is now out. Obatron coming in 9th at a +4. Behemoth +4. Toxic Drake +11, +4, and Ringmaster at 12. Pinpoint, Redux, and Valkyrie are still in this. If they win their next matches, then they will pull themselves above Ringmaster and Toxic Drake. But I'm not sure if they're going to be pulling themselves above Behemoth and Obatron, because Obatron, I feel, is going to have a good chance to get into the semifinals here, and this top 12 is anybody's game right now. Everybody's in the top 16 can get into the top 12 except for Gyro and Singularity. Both of them are fully eliminated now. There's no way they can get in there. However, if the right losses happen, then we could see Toxic Drake move on and keep that number 11 spot and whittle themselves into the top 12 for the tournament of 5. I'm excited. I'm hoping you are too, because this has been an interesting series so far. And we're going to be doing a second tournament series. This has just been too fun to turn down. So here we go. It's round 3 coming in, and now it's starting to really matter. These wins are highly, highly mattering. If you lose here, especially if you're Pinpoint, especially if you're Generator's got a +3. He's not even in the top 12. He should be, but Singularity takes that 16 spot while he would technically be taking that 16 spot right now. Generator's got a chance to get into the +4, but Generator needs to make it all the way and make it through the semifinals and needs to get into the championship round to receive a full +4 on this tournament, putting him into the +6 tier, and that would guarantee him a spot in the tournament of 5. Now we got Nice and Obatron. They're going to be leading this off, and this is a matchup that I've been looking forward to seeing. The underdog coming up on the absolute annihilating shredder of the tournament so far. Who's going to take it on into the semifinals? It's Nice. It's Obatron. Let's go. Battle RC is a game you can find on Steam. It's only like $3.99 right now, but normally it's $4.99. You download these from their Discord, Battle RC Discord. They got hundreds of models, and all of these you can find there. Obatron finds himself on top of Nice, and Nice is trying to ramp up those blades. He's not getting very far with them though, and Obatron keeps where he's at. He says, if you can't touch me, you can't hurt me. Obatron wants the backside of him, but Nice is managing to stay right there, keeping him up against the wall and keeping him to where he can't get to the backside. Obatron is getting the count out now. 3, 2, 1, and Obatron's not coming off. It looks like he's going to go by way of elimination here. And Nice didn't even really get the opportunity to sink those thin blades into Obatron. Obatron went right up on top of him, and then it was too late. Once Nice's blades finally did kick up to high speed, they wore off Obatron's tires. He couldn't get off of them, and he gets pinned right on top of Nice for the 10 count. What a surprising round. I really didn't expect it to end that way. I thought we were going to see a bunch of damage. So after the first tier, let's take a look at our bracket real fast, because we got Nice moving into +7, so he's tied up with Lynx now. We got Obatron staying at a +4. Right now, he's right there staying with our rankings are right where they need to be. Everybody's looking the same in their terms. So Obatron, if he's holding his breath, he's hoping the right people lose. If Behemoth loses, then he can keep that number 9 spot. If Lynx wins here, Lynx keeps his 1. If Atomic 2 loses here, Atomic 2 will stay in 5. If Valkyrie wins here, Valkyrie moves up into 4, and that will bump Obatron out. So you want Atomic 2 to win and pull that +7 and tie up with Lynx and Nice up there in the top. You want Behemoth to lose because he wants him to stay where he's at. He doesn't want him to bump him into 10. And you want Pinpoint Redux to lose so that Pinpoint Redux doesn't tie Obatron and bump him out of that 9 spot. And Generator, he definitely wants Generator to lose here, because if Generator wins, while he will place lower than him in the top 4, if Generator wins all the way into the champion or into the semifinal, then Generator bumps Obatron out as well. We'll see. Obatron is hanging on by a thread, and now after losing his battle, we're not sure who's going to go into the top 12 here. That top 9 position is a really close position to a loss, especially if the right movements happen here. So let's go on. It's Atomic 2. It's Valkyrie. The Rotator versus the Flipper. Atomic 2 has got all the makings of a champion in this bot. They have done fantastic. But Valkyrie is our underdog of this tournament, coming out swinging that Rotator blade, seeming to be the configuration they're probably going to be staying with throughout the rest of these tournament series, I imagine. But we'll have to see. Valkyrie is upside down. Valkyrie likes to keep that blade on bottom, but Valkyrie is flipped into elimination, and that's it for the Cinderella story. She's taken off her glass slippers. Her carriage is turning back into a pumpkin, and Valkyrie is going to the sidelines. Atomic 2 winning that battle outright. And Atomic 2 really deserved that win. They went back to their old method, their control method. They didn't want to give Valkyrie the opportunity. And now we're looking for their opponent. It's Redux, it's Generator. Pinpoint Redux has got a real opportunity here to move forward and to be a threat in the semifinal round. However, Generator has been our surprising one here in this bracket, coming up in a supplementary round, beating 3 other bots. He has overtaken Jackpot, who is still in the top of the rankings right now in our top 16. He's overtaken Maxi Taxi. Maxi Taxi absolutely dominated the Ringmaster. We really thought we were seeing a good return of Maxi Taxi to form. And now it's Generator versus Pinpoint Redux. Pinpoint Redux is going to have their hands full with this one, but honestly, I'm rooting for Pinpoint Redux. I want to see a hammer come into the championship round, so sue me. Generator's got a lot of power to overcome, but Pinpoint Redux is good at holding bots back. So let's see how this goes. It's time to put on Pinpoint Redux. Generator. Who's going to make it to the semifinals? Let's go. The Generator locking horns with Pinpoint Redux right off the bat, as expected. Pinpoint Redux is looking for that elimination, and Generator's out. It's done. Pinpoint Redux played that perfectly. He kept his hammer back. He let Generator get on top of him. He used that hammer to just push him into the elimination zone. Holy cow. Absolutely insane that Pinpoint Redux uses the hammer to push his opponents in the elimination corner there. He's been so active in just attack and push, binding up his opponents. He gets Generator bound up, and then just, instead of using that hammer like he normally does with swing after swing, he puts him into the corner. He flips him over the barricade with it. Just a really good use of that weapon. I'm I'm not surprised that Pinpoint is making it in there, and Generator, that's going to keep him probably in the bottom of our top list here. We'll point up at the end of this round, so stay tuned. Pinpoint Redux, just an impressive win there over Generator. Absolutely impressive. Really controlled that battle. I couldn't even keep up there for any time. I thought that was going to last a lot longer. Behemoth and Lynx going one-on-one next. It's our final round for round 3 here. Behemoth and Lynx. Lynx has got a tall order in front of him, and after facing off against Ringmaster and winning, you have to hope that Lynx has got what it's going to take to throw Behemoth in the air. We'll see if that little egg beater has got the power he needs to overcome that thick exterior on Behemoth, and the power that is the control Behemoth possesses. Let's go! Behemoth is just oversized for this competition against Lynx here, and while Lynx is dangerous, Behemoth, he could play this smart, just not use his flipper at all. And no, Behemoth going the opposite route. He's using it, trying to get every little hit he can out of it. He thinks his hydraulics are big enough to, and that's it. Lynx puts Behemoth on his back in the elimination corner, and Lynx wins the match. Behemoth is out. Who would have thought that Behemoth was going to get flipped so quickly and so easily? I think he helped himself fly into that elimination zone with how rapidly he was pushing up and down his scoop. Maybe Behemoth thought he was a little bit oversized. Holy cow. Lynx is absolutely just crushing this tournament. I'm not overly surprised, because in real life, Lynx is a robot that comes in the NHRL, and he gets a massive following online. He's I forget who drives him, but he's a great little bot, and I believe he actually got a BattleBots premiere eventually. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it. Somebody told me that he did, but I haven't looked it up. He's got a really cool YouTube channel. You should check it out while you're here. Just look up Lynx, NHRL, and you'll see him battling, and then he's got links on those videos that provide you to his YouTube channel. Shows you how he builds the bot. He shows you how the NHRL works. It's a really fun channel to follow, if it's still up. There's a lot of those guys from the NHRL, though, that have got a really great representation of their bots and their community, and they show you what they do, and they're really excited to show you like the parts they print and the parts they build, and it's a really fascinating community. I really highly suggest you get in there. So I'm happy to see Lynx actually winning in these tournaments, because Battle RC, like, whoever made Lynx, you did them right. Behemoth buddy, you need some work. Thank you. You need some work. So you need some big work, because Behemoth he has not been holding up to the standard of Behemoth. Although I think back to Robot Wars, and I know that Behemoth, he was pretty good at losing whenever it came to those Titan battles. So, all right, my friends, we're going to get back to it now, because it's live. It's the bracket. It's the qualifying round 4. I just wanted to speak about Lynx for a second, and why this is honestly one of my favorite creations that I've seen in the Battle RC Discord, because I'm a huge fan of Lynx. So Lynx coming into this tournament means a lot to me, and Behemoth just takes me back to whenever I was 12 years old and watching this show on TLC. It just sized down a little. So we're going to go back in now, and we're going to sit and enjoy our next round. It's the semifinals. It's nice, and it's Lynx. It's Atomic 2, and it's Pinpoint. We're going to update our point system, and we'll be right back. Okay, let's break down our rankings here for the top 16. Of course, going back to Q1, we have Clyde sitting as a winner. Q2, Double Time won that. Q3, Witch Doctor, no surprise there. Witch Doctor came really close in the semifinals to taking off, and just was not up to snuff whenever it came to who they had to face off to get into that championship round. But here in the top 16, Lynx has come up from the 16th place after Tournament 3 to the top of the 16 tier now with +8. He's definitely, no matter what happens here tonight, with another point on the line. Even if they lose to Nice right here, right now, they're still going to be in the top 12, leading the pack in the top 12 for that. Nice is sitting at 7 points. With a win here, they'll bump them up into 8 points, tying with Lynx taking over the top spot. Atomic 7 with 7 points. Atomic 2 with 7 points. Blip with 6 points. Wanhu with 6 points. Emulsifier with 5. Jackpot with 5. Mobius with 5. Pinpoint Redux pulls into the top position of the 4-point tier after that win that he just had, but Orbitron lucks out and stays in the top 10. Toxic Drake hit number 11 and Ringmaster hit number 12. Now keep in mind that one of these top tier people will be going off into the Q4 qualifier. So you could see Generator move up into 12th. We could see Generator move up into 12th very easily. Either way, so we can look forward to seeing possibly Generator. Behemoth comes in underneath him. The reason why we have Behemoth ranked below Generator is Behemoth's performance compared to Generators are just night and day. Generator has managed to stay on the aggressive, and you never know if he's going to win or he's going to lose. Behemoth, he seems to be underperforming in this tournament so far, and we are taking the aspect of his ability to have control that he's just simply not using one of his weapons. While Generator is managing to keep way more control than Behemoth has, and Generator is moved into that 13th spot. Gyro coming in 15th and Valkyrie coming in 16th. Now we will have a best of the losers tournament, which will be a 4-bot, little tournament, and it'll just be for fun. Best of the worst winner kind of thing from this qualifying rounds. So these last, 13, 14, 15, and 16 will all be in that. And we could probably expect to see a surprise entry whenever it comes to that, I imagine. But either way, we have our top 16 set. So let's go ahead and head back into our bracket for our tournament 4 semi-final round. Who's going to take home the championship? Who's going to be qualified for the tournament of 5? Only time will tell. It's Nice. It's Lynx. Let's go. I really like this fight for Lynx, but Nice has shown that he is not a bot to be messed with. His damage output is massive, and he meets Lynx right in the middle, but Lynx goes underneath him. And Lynx has got Nice turned up, but Nice gets Lynx flipped over on his side. Now Nice is landing and getting hung up with that shredder inside of those saw blades there. That hammer coming down and missing Nice, but barely. Lynx is giving it a fight for his life, but Nice is getting that weapon wound up, and that's it for Lynx. It looks like he finally got the right angle of him. He takes the damage to the bottom of Lynx, and Lynx put up one heck of a fight there. He's coming out with a +8, but Nice moves up into the number 1 position at a +8. Next up, it's Atomic 2. And you have to wonder if Nice is going to have a repeat of qualifying round 1. He makes it to the championship round and he loses to Clyde. We got Pinpoint Redux and Atomic 2. Both of those bots can control Nice, with Pinpoint having that ability to just hold on to him, keep him at a distance and up, and then just drop that hammer, and Atomic 2 with the ability to be able to flip Nice. We'll have to see how this fight's going to go. It's Atomic 2, it's Pinpoint Redux. It's time for our semifinal. Who is going to meet Nice in the championship round? This is going to be a battle for the ages. A flipper, 2 control bots. I have to imagine that Pinpoint is about to see the sky in some form or fashion with the way Atomic 2 has been driving this tournament. And Atomic 2 getting hung up on the hammer there, taking the brunt of the damage from that collision. And Pinpoint Redux is around on Atomic 2's side. He's trying to stay away from that flipper, trying to put some damage on him. Now it looks like Pinpoint's looking for that elimination again. Nice, backing off. He's backing off the corner. Atomic 2 is looking to get that position for the elimination there. using that flipper to his advantage as he has for most of the tournaments here. And here, Pinpoint Redux and Atomic 2 get hooked up and flip upside down. Atomic 2 almost takes a hammer hit, but doesn't. He's having trouble getting underneath Pinpoint Redux, and really, Pinpoint Redux is holding on to a small margin of victory here. I mean, Atomic 2 is upside down. He's been controlling the pace here. He's been the aggressor. Atomic 2 has had to work off of his back the entire match, and Pinpoint Redux is just done with this guy. He's over it. He's ready to fling him into the elimination. You can tell he's starting to work his way there slowly. He doesn't want to have to depend on judges, and he does not want to have to depend on trying to damage that hard exterior shell of Atomic 2. And Pinpoint Redux driving the bottom of that pinpoint hammer into Atomic 2 there. They're right by the elimination square. Atomic 2 is looking to get an angle to be able to flip Redux, but Redux just seems to not want to be giving that up. They're neck and neck with damage right now. Both bots have suffered significant health events. We're looking at Redux just absolutely controlling the pace of this battle, trying to get Atomic 2 in the hammer, and he does. Atomic 2 takes a massive hit from the hammer there, but he flips Redux as Redux backs up to try to get a better positioning. Atomic 2 sending Redux into the air. Pinpoint is just on his side. Atomic 2 is trying to turn the tide of this, but Pinpoint is right back on it, driving Atomic 2 into those augers, those spikes on it, looking for that elimination area again. You have to think to yourself, Redux, just take him out. You're getting the damage in, and that's it. That's what he does. He drops the pin one more time, eliminating Atomic 2, and it's going to be Pinpoint Redux, and it's going to be nice in the championship round. So we are going to be looking at our bracket. We're going to be looking at our points here momentarily. We have got Nice coming in to take on Pinpoint Redux, and Pinpoint Redux really a story of redemption here. He's going up to a +5 status. He's going to be moving ahead of Emulsifier, Jackpot. He's going to be moving ahead of Mobius. And Redux just absolutely changed the face of our top 12 here. Alrighty, we're up to our last and final championship round. It's either going to be Q4 champion Nice or Q4 champion Pinpoint Redux here. Pinpoint Redux moves into the top 6 spot all the way from his last position, which was like 13th. He's holding with a +5 points, and 8 points higher than Jackpot, Emulsifier, Mobius, Obatron. Obatron moves down into 10, Generator moves up to 11, Toxic Drake down to 12, Behemoth down to 13th, Ringmaster down to 14th with a big drop there. Gyro down to 15th, and Valkyrie stays at 16th. Nice pulls in at number 1. He's tied with Lynx at 8 points, but he is definitely the favorite going into the final round. Atomic 2 coming in at 3rd with 7 points, Blip with 6 points, Wanhu with 6 points, and Pinpoint Redux has really just come into this tournament swinging. He knows it's the last chance. He was kind of counted out there at only a +3, but he comes back in and he is ready to take on the champion here. He could receive 6 points at the end of this match and place high. It'd be the 4th in the top 16. So we'll definitely be seeing Pinpoint Redux return, and it looks like we'll be seeing a Toxic Drake and possibly even Behemoth. So let's see how this all turns out, my friends. It's time to get to our final championship round. It's Nice. It's Pinpoint Redux. It's time. Let's go. I suspect this is going to be a very quick match one way or the other. Nice is either really quick at destroying their opponent or they destroy themselves rather quickly. And Pinpoint Redux so far is keeping Nice at a distance and just laying in that hammer. It doesn't look like that hammer is doing too much, but he's got nice pin for Nice manages to get back out of it. He's going to be a little bit more careful now. He's ramming into Pinpoint, trying to get, and that's it. Pinpoint's been destroyed. Nice's damage output was just too much, and Nice takes Q4 with a bang, winning the tournament. It's their second tournament they've been in the qualifier as a runner-up for their first, and now they win. They're going to be definitely going into tournament 5 way ahead. All right, and Nice comes out on top. I mean, I'm not surprised that Nice ends up winning this tournament. Nice has been... We put a hold on Nice for winning the runner-up, and I'm glad we did, because if this would have just been the same 32 over and over, I think Nice might have taken most of them. Nice is definitely going to be a favorite to win Series 1. Now, keep in mind, the winner of Tournament Series 1 will not be able to be in Series Tournament 2 at all. They will have a picture that will memorialize them throughout the entire series, as that will just be how it slowly goes, as a collection of these pictures from the ones who win the entire tournament series and the championship. But Nice has got a long road ahead of him, and he's already proven that he can lose. So let's not get too carried away with how much we think he can just take over. Pinpoint Redux had some good hammer hits there, but he just was not able to penetrate that shell of Nice. Nice is looking at being a favorite coming into this by far, but Witch Doctor is still in this tournament. Clyde, the one who defeated Nice in the first qualifying tournament, is still in this tournament. It's really anybody's game. So we're going to go ahead and get our points updated, and we're going to get back to it so we can talk about who's going to be in the top 12. And that is it for qualifying tournament number 4. We move on now to our scoreboard, series number 1, tournament 1 of 5. And we can see here qualifying winner for 1 was Clyde, then Double Time, then Witch Doctor, then Nice. Those 4 will start opposite of every single bracket. They will be leading their own individual brackets from every single